Okay, sorry about that. On to the relationship row. Um, you have amazing cards here. The bottom of the deck is the Four of Pentacles, and this is a card about boundaries. So, um, making sure that there are healthy boundaries in a relationship, I think, is one of the most important things that keeps things in balance. Make sure resentment builds when one person's doing seems to always be doing more than the other person, always picking up the slack. When you feel like you're always quote unquote doing something, um it's a lack of boundaries, it's a lack of communication about boundaries, it's a lack of communication about expectations and things like that. So I mean, you have the most amazing cards. So I'm trying to, as far as relationships are concerned this year, um, you are maybe for some of you coming from a situation where relationships in the past have been out of balance. So if you're currently in a relationship and feeling this way, it's time to use your words and talk about it and see if you can negotiate, explain, your expectations, listen to their expectations, and talk it out before resentment builds to a level that sort of kills the relationship. For a lot of you, for people, anyone that's single, I think this is really applying to you guys. First of all, we have the wish card. So this is a card about, obviously it's called the wish card, so maybe dreams coming true, but I always like to have people really think about what their wish is and make sure that it truly matches what you want. So when you're talking about romantic relationships, be careful when you are considering the type of relationship you want. You're really focused on what's truly meaningful and not superficial things, because you may be wishing for a tall, dark, handsome stranger, and it may be that the package is pretty, but he's a total asshole on the inside. Or, and this guy could be a girl too. Um, so really think about the substance of a person, the person you want to be with, instead of the package that they come in, because even a beautiful person that relationship can get tired real fast if they're not good people. Some of you will be healing from past relationships this year and really nurturing yourself, but having hope, having gotten to a point where you've really been able to put your past experiences into really, a philosophical way, and seeing the wisdom that you gained from the situation and the lessons that you learned in a wise way, not a cynical or negative way. It's like, oh, I see where I missed that red flag, and just keeping things positive and hopeful, and not dragging in baggage from old relationships into new relationships. And then you have the Fool card. So I really do see new love for you that's really going to um, ask you to really push, to really maybe step outside your comfort zone. So to really test if you're what you say you want. If you say, no, I don't care about appearances so much, I mean, obviously if you're just totally not attracted to someone in any shape or form, then that's, you can't force that. But often I know, really attractive people, I may think someone's really attractive and I get to know them and I'm like, oh, they become not attractive because they're of the way they act, and vice versa. Some people that I'm like, yeah, didn't really, you know, think we're all that attractive. Once you get to know them, they can become incredibly attractive. So make sure you give people a chance. Make sure you you don't write off someone because of first superficial impressions, and it may have the courage to be with a person that's the best person for you, and don't worry about what other people think. That's a surefire way not to find happiness, is to worry about, oh, what other people going to think they're cute, or other people going to think they have a good enough job, or other people going to care that they didn't go to college, or all that stupid stuff. It's like, what is your heart telling you? Are you happy with this person? Do they add to your life? So I think you're really going to be doing that, and really going and putting yourself out there. Maybe you're going to try some dating. Maybe you're going to allow that friend who's been trying to fix you up with that person forever, and you haven't, for really, because you're afraid. You're going to do that. So you're really transforming um, how you've historically approached relationships, and it's going to be coming from a place of just really like positive, gentle place. It's hard to explain because it's a feeling I'm getting. It's hard to articulate. But where you may have been like, maybe had too strong boundaries, or been a naysayer, like, oh, this won't work out. Oh, they're trying, like, really worried about maybe bringing in some negativity that you didn't realize. It's like you're just going to meet it with acceptance and give things a shot, and your expectations are going to be such that there are no expectations. You'll just see where it goes, and if it doesn't work out, it's like, it's okay. It doesn't, being quote unquote rejected just because you're not a match with someone, it's not, doesn't mean anything negative about you. It doesn't necessarily mean anything negative about that person. You don't need to judge it. You don't need to bring in this extra layer of superficial negativity. It's just going to be, it's going to be what it is, and you're going to be open to it, and allow things to unfold however they may, and do things a little differently than maybe you had in the past, and put yourself out there. But you're not going to feel foolish doing it. You're going to say, hey, you can't know how a relationship's going to go unless you're in it for a little while, and you're not going to meet people unless you accept invitations or put yourself out there. For some of you, you have had some past hurts, and it's taken a long time for some of you to maybe work through that grieving process, and that's what you're letting go. You're letting go of pining away. You're letting go of anger, resentment, all that stuff. You're putting that behind you. It's no longer going to be carried forward into another relationship going forward. And this is the card of wisdom. These are the spiritual cards down here. You've gained an enormous amount of wisdom. Again, you've transferred any resentment or anger or baggage that you've been carrying with you into something meaningful and beautiful is the word. But lessons that you can bring forward. You're going to be able to sort of navigate with more grace and good humor, and the big picture of this one little circumstance. Someone didn't like me on online dating or whatever. It's like, whatever. It's just not significant. You understand what's significant and what isn't, and you're able not to let little things derail you anymore. And I think this has been a long time in coming for you. But this new approach to this intuitive approach to work, this healing, calm acceptance of how relationships may develop in the future, and you're really changing how you're living your life this year. You may change where you live. You may I really feel a comfort, a level of comfort, a level of acceptance of practicality. You may live or move in order to save money. You may sort of do some things to beautify your home so it's much more comfortable for you and not so much like a showcase for other people. So it has some healing space in it. This is definitely change in how you make your money, a change in changes that you've been sort of struggling with or thinking of for a long time are really shifting now. They're really coming to fruition for you. Things are really coming together in your mind, and it's a real year of serenity, acceptance, mindfulness, calmness, um, all the way around. But all in the context of being the leader in your own life by saying, I am making the decisions in my life that are best for me, and I will listen to other people's counsel and consider it, but I'm using all the wisdom I've gained and my wonderful analytical mind, and I'm making the decisions that are best for me. And I'm confident in those decisions because I am approaching my life from a different point of view than I have historically, potentially. And I'm taking a path of wisdom, of humility, of understanding that I may not know how the future is going to work out, but that's okay, and I can accept that. And I still need to live and not stay stuck in a situation or situations that were not positive or healthy for me, and move forward making decisions that will honor this new outlook I have in life. This is just such a beautiful reading. The energy coming off of this reading is so calm and peaceful. It's just beautiful. It's like if you've ever suffered from anxiety or anything like that, it's like you just have figured it out in your brain for yourself. Um, it's not resentment or negativity. It's acceptance and grace, and everything's going to be okay. And being able to move forward and do some things that may have scared you in the past because you're just not bringing all this negativity with you. It's just like, well, we'll see how it goes and we'll move forward and we'll deal with it as it comes. Everything will be fine. Really cool reading, guys. So thanks so much. Sorry for the two parts, and I'll see you at the next video. Take care.